It's the Riot Podcast. This is the Wednesday, April 26th version of the show. Something I forgot to mention. I should probably do something about this. The urinal stopped working in the break room.
Please don't tell me you've been peeing in the sink.
Yeah, no, the urinal in the bathroom of where it belongs has just continued to run since I flushed it. And it was fine before I flushed it. Don't you hate being the person that has to report that?
Yeah, that's on you.
If I go tell somebody, I don't know how to fix it. If I go tell Chris, probably I would have to fix it. And he's going to assume I broke it. I didn't do anything. Well, I didn't take a dump in the urinal or anything like that.
And hang on, there we go. Please don't tell me people do that.
There's a word for it, isn't it? There, I say.
I don't know what it is.
I know if you do up top in a toilet, it's upper decker.
I've heard that one. Yeah.
No, there's definitely a word for urinal poop, but I don't know what that is.
We're not allowed to say on the radio because that's where you are.
Does this mean that if I walk past your guys' restroom, it's going to sound like water's running or something?
It is. Actually, it's very serene.
It's just continually running. Is that what it's doing?
So you're saying we put in a water feature?
That's exactly. It's calming. You can actually go in there. You turn off the lights, close your eyes, and just meditate. Okay, well, if you want.
The urinal is always an intimidating thing to even see from a distance. I don't even know how you guys do that. So.
You know, they make lady urinals.
No, they don't.
They do.
Well, like the bidet.
They're not very common.
No,
I can imagine why. I
always thought that was if you were mad that you couldn't get into the restroom because there was too many women in line, and so you're like, nope, I'm using the men's.
Use the men's restroom.
I only thought those if you're trying to make a point.
I think I think they've made urinals with women in mind because I think it might be more sanitary. Than having to sit there.
So if you're wondering, that's going on in the boys' bathroom.
That's what we're dealing with right now.
We also have other things included in this podcast today.
We did a Would You Rather Wednesday, talking about smell, attractiveness, ugliness, all the good things in life.
We will really need a question for next week.
That's right.
So when you're here, the Would You Rather Wednesday, if you get inspired for a question we can do next week that we could feature, make sure you text us at 877-2RadioU and text it in.
And I'll just reveal the question now is, would you rather be ugly and beautiful or ugly and stinky? No. Why is this so hard?
Ugly and you smell good.
Wait, okay.
No, let me just say it. Everybody be quiet.
All right.
It's ugly and smell good.
Yeah.
Or attractive and smell bad.
It's that simple.
There it is.
It's that simple. And not going into it, I was just surprised. I thought the answer was easy, which is like why that I picked the question then for the show. But I thought it was an easy answer, and it turns out a lot of people really had differing opinions on it.
It is. So join us for that. We definitely would love your opinion.
We also talked about a little yay or nay question. Whether or not having your phone face down is a red flag in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also depends on if you're handsome or stinky. No,
it does, yeah. If you're really hot, then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, leave that phone down.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Put it face down.
And if you're really hot, people are probably suspicious of you anyway.
They are. That's
so
true.
It doesn't matter where you put your phone.
Exactly.
So everything kind of connects is what we're saying with this podcast today. So make sure you please text in. We'd love to include you in maybe tomorrow's show. At least say hi at 877-2RadioU, or if you head to RadioU Riot on Facebook or our YouTube channel, you can always message or post a comment there.
And we'll catch you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. RadioU.
CinemaCon is going on right now. That means a whole lot of movie news. CinemaCon is where they pump up, basically all the movie studios pump up the movies they've got coming out to get theater owners excited for the upcoming summer season and everything.
So it really is for a lot of movie theater companies to come and be a part of.
A lot of big trailers and inside information comes out at this time. So The Flash, they put out a new trailer for The Flash, and also people have gotten their first looks now at Flash, as in like seeing the entire movie and are able to tweet out their thoughts. And the trailer, I mean, have you guys seen the new trailer?
I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it.
It's pretty Batman-y, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, it is.
Pretty Michael Keaton-y.
Isn't he in it?
Yes.
He is in it.
He is. It's not called the Batman, though. It is called the Flash. But there's lots of Flash in it, too.
You just knew they would lean heavily on that.
Yeah, because it's a face people recognize and don't think of we're we're not going to make allegations here.
Do it.
Do it. People like Michael Keaton, maybe
People
more.
don't like Ezra Miller.
So
Which one's she? I'm sorry.
So they're leaning into that. But nevertheless, another cool trailer. But the first reviews for the movie are unreal. And I mean, we've kind of been hearing the whispers about this for a long time of DC, Warner Brothers, they don't want to ditch this Flash movie and restart or try to mess with it in any way because for some reason they've just nailed it. And that's what the reviews are saying. This person says, The Flash is pretty great, and it makes sense to me now why DC didn't shelve this one. Michael Keaton is chef's kiss. And I didn't realize how much I needed Keaton's Batman in my life again. Some really emotional moments here. So
did you add the chef's kiss
no,
in?
that's what they said.
That's what they were saying?
Yeah, and it doesn't come through very well on the radio. But
it's a tough one. I mean, it's hard because a lot of times, we've mentioned this before, if this movie was not as spectacular as they said it would be, there's no way this movie, based on the Ezra Miller stuff, would even see the light of day.
Exactly.
So it is kind of a quandary of, well, why, because it's so good, is it savable when other movies have been pushed or altered or edited based on other people's actions?
Probably those movies also sucked most of the time. So.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's the right way with it, but they say it is so good. Like what? Just because the art is so good, you can't possibly do something to it.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, that's there's been examples of that in the past. Another review here, I like this. They say, The Flash is as good as rumored. It's Back to the Future meets Spider-Man No Way Home with all the humor and heart of the former and action and surprises of the latter. That is high praise.
It's interesting combination there.
Well, people loved Spider-Man,
Back to the Future
right?
and Spider-Man, a crossover from that seems like an interesting combo.
It feels like that is a lot to juggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Back to the Future is actually kind of easy to follow for a time travel movie, but we know from some of the Marvel time travel, multiverse stuff.
It can get confusing.
It gets pretty confusing, but I guess they've managed to handle that here in The Flash.
I'm looking at Michael Keaton's Batman picture with it. He looks awfully young there.
Weird.
Well, it must be back in time.
It's one of the back in time ones.
Yeah,
he looks
course.
awfully young.
So, man, it's
and I
tough.
like his hair.
It still feels wrong to be excited about it, but it's coming out on June 16th.
They're doing a big push with it still. So I guess everybody will just have to wait and see. But we have learned a valuable lesson that I guess they won't cancel something if it's amazing. Only then.
If you make a good enough movie, you can get away with lots of crimes.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Isaiah went ahead and played some softball last night, as I understand it. So I wanted to ask how that went.
Yeah, I just entered into a softball league.
Yeah.
With my friends.
Like you don't have enough going on.
It's just Tuesday nights. But the issue was last night, sometimes it's later than others. And last night it was at 9:30 p.m., real late game.
Was everybody else nervous about such a late start, or is it just because we're morning people that it was the worst?
Or do you sounding like a baby?
I was sounding like a baby. Like, my roommate goes to bed early, too, but everybody else on the team, I don't really know what they do. And after the game, they're like, oh, should we go get food? I'm like, no. Should we go get food? Usually I'm in bed like 45 minutes ago.
At that point, you're like, no, I got to go to work now.
Yeah, and
It's so
the wild thing is the game ended quicker than even it was supposed to. You want to know why that is?
Because it was so
Mercy
late?
rule?
We got run ruled. It was terrible. We got crushed. And I knew going into it, yet again, I am not a baseball player. I have not played since I was like in second grade. There's very few people on my team that played baseball in even like high school. And so I knew we weren't going to be like that good.
But you just wanted to play for fun.
Yeah, just like for fun and stuff. And like we're all like young and athletic, right? It's like all like mid-20s and whatnot. And in this league, it's serious. Like people have jerseys. We don't have jerseys. But all of the teams that are real serious about it, it's men between the age of like 35 and like 47.
Okay.
And that's the team that we played, was probably like mid-30s, and they just crushed us.
Aww.
A bunch of like that's the worst thing about baseball. A bunch of out-of-shape dudes that were just standing up there just crushing the ball. I'm like, how in the world are we getting our butts kicked by these old thick boys when we're over here fit and young and athletic? Doesn't even matter. They're just hammering the ball on us. We have no fielding. They're destroying us. We lost like 20-5.
Oh, wow.
It was like, these these guys, and they couldn't run the bases either because they were, yet again, older guys who hadn't been running for a while, but they were hitting the ball so well on us, it didn't even matter.
So they were more efficient. You didn't even need to run the bases with it.
There was a dude on their team that was probably like 6'2", real thick, inside the park home run on us. Couldn't even run. He couldn't even run.
Well, you know what you need to do? You need to get some older friends, don't you?
I know. Yeah. I need to get some older guys that really want to commit to it because we're not committed. That's the issue.
So, did you get a hit?
I need to listen to this. Yet again, we got run rules, so I only got to bat twice. 1 for 2, had a run.
Oh.
Hey!
I hope I owned.
Yeah.
I did what I could. I mean, for me, yet again, I told everyone going in I wasn't going to be good because, yet again, haven't played baseball since like second grade. But, I mean, I got to run, I got to hit. I wasn't a liability out there. I did fine fielding, no errors. You can't put it on me.
So, do you feel like everybody's still excited that you guys wanted to come up and make a friends baseball team, or because you got crushed so much, or is everybody doubting it now?
See, I think everybody's so cool with it. Because none of us have played in a long time. And these guys were clearly experienced men's slow softball
you have to shake
players.
the rust off.
And we've never played in a softball league before, so we'll figure it out.
Sure.
So, I mean, we've got wins coming.
What's the plan of action then? You organizing some practices?
Oh, we're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Because yesterday was pitiful. I mean, the bats, they weren't moving. Fielding errors left and right.
So
Drop pop flies.
Is this taking over your Tuesday night? Because wasn't that like bachelor stuff with all your friends?
That's Mondays. That's
Monday? Okay.
That's Monday nights.
That's still there. That's
Tuesday
still okay.
night, same friends that I watched The Bachelor with.
Ooh.
Oddly enough, I have Bachelor night with them on Monday, men's softball on Tuesdays.
You are doing too much with him.
I think where it works out makes my nights more fun.
It means you got a strong bond, and you know what you need now? I think you need a coach.
Oh.
I think you need a coach to come in and rally the troops.
Get you organized.
Crack some heads together and sort everything out.
I have the perfect person in mind.
Who's that?
Hudson?
Nikki. Nikki will come in, crack some heads.
You know
She's
what
like, guys, we're down by 15.
Listen, I could get you guys jerseys. I could get you sponsors on the jersey.
Perfect.
We could get everything all set up. I'll schedule snacks and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
I
Nikki's
can
bringing the little hugs.
absolutely do it.
This sounds way better. I want a hot dog and pop after the games.
I can set that up for you guys, and then that'll get your morale up.
Yeah, morale's high. We won't win the game, but at least afterwards, we'll
You'll
be
be
way
happy.
happier.
And that's what matters, the snacks.
The words too expensive aren't in Nikki's vocabulary. This is The Riot. Radio U.
I've got a landmark ruling here from the FDA. The Food and Drug Administration has made a little update to their list of food regulations.
Yeah.
And now it is allowable for you to bring your pet dog to a restaurant outside.
Okay, so you can't bring the dog inside, though.
Not even to walk through to the outside.
To the outside. It's completely out. I mean, it makes sense. It's people's food. It's a restaurant. People have allergies.
Yeah.
You want it to be outdoors.
Yeah, you don't want that. And dogs can just be gross. But
So
now
can humans.
this is the first time. Previously, they would allow service dogs, of course, were allowed to be at outdoor dining areas, according to the FDA. But pet dogs, just one that you have for fun, it was not allowed, which I didn't even realize. I thought there was restaurants that let you have dogs outside.
There are.
There has been.
So they've been skirting the rules?
I think so. I think there's just been, and they're really saying if you're close to an area where food is being prepared, so like if your restaurant was positioned to where they could go outside easily, then it probably wasn't a big deal. But like say even if the bar was close enough and they're preparing food or drinks or something, you weren't allowed to be within a certain distance of it.
Well, now things are changing, and Jim the dog and Zafira and Nikki's many dogs, we could all just go gang up outside.
Yeah,
and
just because they can now doesn't mean they should.
Does not mean that every dog
no.
needs to go out.
I'll be the first to admit that my 3 wonderful little doggies are never going to go eat with
they're
me.
going to go to a restaurant.
I took them for ice cream once, and I could have just destroyed. I was so mad at how they were not able to handle the ice cream place. Just not able to handle
Bad
it.
parenting, clearly.
I was, and it's on me. I just couldn't do it, especially 3 at a time. Maybe if I had special nights where it was like, here's a Rolo night where we're going to go eat, or cinnamon or sugar, but I just can't.
Yeah, there's your trouble. You got your hands too full
many.
with so many dogs. Would you ever bring Jim the dog to a restaurant?
I can't trust him.
You don't think so?
Every time that I give him a little bit of trust, he breaks it. Leave him alone by himself, poops in the house.
It's not going to poop on the patio.
He would. He would.
I would have put it
That's
past
the
him.
first thing that I know would happen, and his poop smells terrible. And there's one place in specific that like I would take him if I wanted him to go out somewhere, because I know there's a place that's like a nice little patio area that like a lot of my friends like to hang out in the summertime especially. And I see dogs there all the time, and Jim would love it because he loves people, loves other dogs. He would have the time of his life. But he would have too much fun.
Yeah.
And I can't risk it.
We just
Get
can't.
out of
And he'd ruin
control.
my time. I don't want, like, when you take your dog to something like that, like, you think it's going to be really fun, and then you realize the stress it puts on you. Like, when you have a dog there constantly, like, there's nothing you can think about other than just, like, hopefully my dog doesn't touch someone that doesn't want them to touch them. Hopefully my dog doesn't pee out of here or poop out of here, or he's pulling on me. I'm trying to have a conversation. It's way more work than you realize until you get there.
It's like,
Sheesh.
it's like people with kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
You
Sounds
just
like
don't
it.
You
want
can't
to.
think about anything but your dog when you're there, and that's the stressful part.
So the FDA has, though, said that there is no discrimination based on the breed of your dog.
Nice.
So they are not allowed to discriminate. Say if you had a Great Dane compared to like a smaller dog, they cannot tell you no for that. You are not allowed, though, for cats and other pets. This is only dogs.
Thank goodness.
The FDA
Keep them away from my good time.
FDA has not regulated any other pet outside of that.
So keep my lizard at home.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I think Zafir the dog, I think the one place she would be behaved is a restaurant, because she'd be so concerned sitting and watching for food.
That she'd pay attention.
She wouldn't be able to misbehave any other way.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
I need you to fill me in on what the heck is going on. Are they picking a new mascot?
They are.
And what's going on? Because I'm seeing PETA's getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
What's the whole deal here?
So pretty much what the Browns are doing right now, they're doing a little competition, right?
Okay.
And so we had like the previous like little like dog head that was like one of our secondary, you would consider, logos, right?
Yeah.
And
Sure.
what they want, because last year we brought in, if you guys remember when we brought in Elfie, you guys remember the little
yeah.
elf that we had?
That's right.
So we're trying, there was like a little elf thing
Intimidating.
that
Yeah.
like we tried to do for a little bit, and I think we're
sprite.
trying to stray away from the elf thing, and we're trying to get back to like the dog, which is my preferred logo for the Browns.
Yeah.
I like the dog pound. I'm with all that.
I guess I always thought it was there, but I guess I didn't think the elf thing was serious.
Did you
Yeah.
have an elf pound for?
We did not have an elf pound, but we did.
That would've been cool.
For a majority of the season, the elf was the center logo on the
Yeah,
field, which I was not for. But right now they're doing a little competition for all the fans pretty much to enter in their own little graphic design of like a dog logo for the Browns to use, right? And so a story just came out because, like, if you guys have ever seen on the sidelines of the Browns games, there's always, like, a bull mastiff down there.
Yeah.
And that's the dog that we've used as of late as kind of like our mascot.
Yeah.
Our little, like, sideline character pretty
Cute.
much. Yeah, real cute, right? But PETA essentially came out and they don't want us to use the bull mastiff anymore.
Why is that?
They want us to use a shelter doggo.
Well, they were also saying that there's certain breeds, bull mastiffs can have several like health issues and breathing issues, and so it's just it's a delicate breed to begin with, and I think they're probably afraid that if the bull mastiff is highlighted in such a way, everybody would want one, and then that leads to more overbreeding, which leads to more health problems. Because can a bull mastiff, I mean, like that could be a shelter dog as well.
Yeah,
I
good.
Yeah.
don't know why they're saying it needs to feature a homeless dog in a way to possibly reduce the demand for full breeds. So more think of it like just not a full breed dog.
Well, first of all, PETA, it's dogs without houses, dogs without homes, houseless dogs,
Houseless
not
dogs.
homeless dogs.
Thank
So let's
you.
get that right. And two, so they don't want people to adopt dogs that are like purebred,
Correct.
and they want those dogs to do what then?
That's a flaw to their argument, isn't it?
What's ethical about that?
I know.
Letting
Like
the
the
purebred
purebred dog
dogs
thing?
just suffer alone?
They
That sounds
just
pretty inhumane.
They assume that they'll always get adopted. That's the assumption, is that purebred dogs will always get adopted where the shelter dogs
Well,
will.
you know what happens when you make
They assume
assumptions.
that there's not even a lot of purebred dogs that are available for adoption. Those are the ones that people buy from breeders
Exactly.
or from pet stores and
So-
stuff. So they want to try to reduce the demand for full breeds and then get people to go to their animal shelters.
How are people able to tell if it's like that? It would be obvious. What would they do to make the dog look like a houseless dog?
A homeless one or a
Yeah.
houseless? Well, a lot of times you can just tell by the breed of the dog.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
Like your dog, Hudson. Wasn't your dog a
She's
shelter
got a
dog?
nice home. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, she
exactly.
wasn't a shelter dog.
Oh, she
I
wasn't?
got her off for Craigslist.
Might as well. Do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Nowadays, all of our dogs are Facebook doggies.
Yeah, that's how I got Jim. I got Jim on Facebook.
I know. That's how I got with two of my dogs. So, I mean, that's very common nowadays.
I think that the logo right now, everybody's putting out it's pretty much like a typical Bull Mastiff look for the logo. I think if I had any graphic design ability, which I don't have much, but I would do like a Basset Hound
A Basset
Browns
Hound.
logo
yeah.
for Jim, of course.
That'd be
I mean,
unique.
he should be the logo for the Browns. He represents a lot of us. Very underwhelming. I mean, almost anytime they can disappoint you. I mean, they're just the Browns are Jim. It just makes me happy every day.
So, PETA and others are just saying that if the Browns are serious about this designed competition, they say if they are going to use a logo and have a dog in the logo, they hope that they'll choose a mixed breed dog that will come from a shelter.
I think they're serious about it just looking cool.
I think
That's
PETA,
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's true. That's all probably the Browns are working on right now.
Yeah.
But they're just hopeful that deaf people will enter in their design ideas then.
Well, good luck to them.
Okay?
Yeah.
To the Browns or to PETA? Or to the dogs?
The dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs.
There
Yeah.
it is.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Text in for Would You Rather Wednesday at 877-2-RADIO-U. You can always send us a question if you think you got a good one, but we really want to hear your answer. Today's question comes from Alden, who says, would you rather be ugly and smell good?
Okay.
Or, you can probably see where this goes, beautiful and smell bad.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's tough. Find out how shallow
How
are your
vain
thoughts
we are. But either
vain,
way,
yeah.
I feel like you're being vain,
That's
aren't
true.
you? Because it's all about what other people think about you. So, what are we leaning towards off the rip?
Okay, so you can either smell bad but be attractive, or be attractive and smell bad.
You just said the same thing twice.
Did I just
It
say
took
the
me
same
like
thing
3 seconds to read.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Well, I think I'm
hard.
going to go with smell bad and be attractive
That's
between
what
the
I'm
two.
leaning towards. Thank you.
It sounds like Nikki's going that way. It's smell bad and be attractive, or
Smell good.
good
There
and
it
be
is.
ugly.
Now, if you smelled bad, are you allowed to, like, you just have no choice? You can't.
Obviously, you can't wear cologne,
Cologne
Nikki.
yeah, so we're gonna,
That would defeat the purpose
any
of the
other
question.
loopholes that we need to walk through here?
If you just smell bad, no
No.
matter
There's
what.
nothing you can do about it. And there's people like that.
Have you not been around? Like, you can be around someone who smells bad, but you just cover up and, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
tell. So I just want to.
Hudson does his best.
Yeah.
Exactly, no.
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess I'd probably still lean towards being handsome or attractive, but smelling bad, because then if it was all handsome or attractive people still smelled bad, then it'd be okay to smell bad, maybe?
Yes, it would be okay. But no, it's just you. You're the only one.
It's just
It's
you.
not all of us. We're all not
Why is it
beautiful
so
and smell bad.
difficult? Why?
You smell bad and you're beautiful.
Hudson, I'm taking everyone with us if we're doing
Oh,
that.
You're
You,
right.
it's
You
just
are.
you.
You're the voice of the people right now. And that's all the texts are going to be. Well, if it was like this and this and this, then
No, it's just you.
It's you are the smell.
You smell bad, all right?
There's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it, but you're good looking, or you're ugly. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's okay. That does change
But you
things.
smell
then.
real
And like
good.
if you smell bad, you smell bad. Like it's noticeable. You're that guy. We all know somebody
That
who
smells
smells
bad.
bad.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody can think of somebody you went to high school with, whoever it was. We've all got a person. You're that person. Like it's noticeable.
But that was always just like they didn't know deodorant yet.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
they were just working it out and figuring it out.
If you're a
So-
parent, make sure your kids know that. By the way.
I did know there was one gal that I knew growing up, and she apparently was allergic or got irritated by aluminum.
Oh,
and
for
there's
the
aluminum in
deodorant.
deodorant. So then she had to wear natural deodorant. And I'm sorry to this girl, but the natural deodorant does not work.
Is that why you guys broke up?
So, all right, let's get the text in at 877-2-RADIO-U. We'll see where the voice of the people that are actually answering the question are going, and we'll give our answers next. It's Would You Rather Wednesday.
Maybe give the question one more time.
Yeah, it's Would you rather be very attractive but smell bad and there's nothing you can do about it, or smell real good but you're ugly?
And it's only you.
Yes, correct. 877-2-RADIO-U for Would You Rather Wednesday.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
It's Would You Rather Wednesday. So text in with your answer to today's question from Alden, who says, would you rather be ugly and smell great or super attractive and smell horrible?
See, I always think of Would You Rather Wednesday as like a would we rather, and then I automatically assume when you tell us the question in the morning, that's a we thing. Like, would we rather be ugly?
Collectively?
Yeah,
As a group?
show?
So it's known just like, that's why I have a hard time with answering, because I always assume like, all right, so everyone who's attractive must stink. But you mean this is just your ailment.
Yeah.
It's your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You and only you.
You know, this is Radio U.
Oh.
So
It's all about you.
Would you rather? It's in the name.
That's true. Well, I have some people's texts if you want to hear them.
Yes, I do.
All right, so Adam says, definitely got to go with ugly and smell good. If you smell bad, it shows you make bad hygiene decisions. But if you're ugly, you can't help it.
True.
Adam, thanks for texting. Brian says, smell good and sacrifice looks. You can't overcome BO.
See, are we ready for my answer?
Let's hear
Sure.
it.
Because I think the exact opposite. How good how good would you have to smell to be able to cancel out being ugly?
How
like
ugly
if you're
are
real
we talking?
ugly.
Like on a
You're
scale?
pretty ugly.
Pretty ugly? Okay.
Like if someone looks at you, they'd be like, meh.
Yeah, people would associate you and they think ugly.
Okay.
Does that sound nice?
No, it doesn't.
How does
I think
it
it's
sound?
like, I prefer not, actually.
Yeah, right.
Let's
I
not
prefer
even
no.
say it. Hypothetically. Let's not even say that.
Right.
So you're going to go with...
I'm definitely going with good looking. I think if you are good looking enough, you can overcome the BO thing. I think people would look past that if you're a beautiful person. If you smell really good though, like that, just again, how good would you have to smell?
I don't know. I love a good smell. I love a good smell. Like when a girl smells really good, it's a big bonus.
It's a big bonus.
I mean, it's a bonus though.
It's a bonus, yes.
And hey, think about this. There's no, you can't smell people on dating apps.
You can't. That's another thing I was
Not
gonna
yet,
say.
anyways.
Another thing I was gonna say is if you see someone from afar and you're like, dang, she's hot, right? You're not thinking about what she smells like, and then when
Hey.
you get up
smell her
close,
from afar.
when you get up close,
True.
then maybe for me personally, I would just be in a lot of group atmospheres if I was to do this, because then is it me that smells? I don't know. And so the first 6 dates you do with a girl would have to be all group dates.
Yeah.
Because if you get her one-on-one, you have to wait for that until you know she already likes you.
Sure.
Because then she can figure out, oh my gosh, he's been the stinky one the whole time. Because if you're good looking, you immediately you wouldn't be the person they would be like, oh, he's the one that smells.
They're not going to assume.
They're not going to assume it's you. But if you're in the group settings, you do 6 group dates. She really likes you, and then you get one-on-one, and she's like, dang, he stinks.
Well, but
maybe you can make your way out of it.
You have a better chance because I think women are more compassionate to where
True.
if you were handsome and still smelled, but yet you were a few dates in and you liked each other, she'd be like, well, I still really like him. It wouldn't mean as much.
It's
True.
true.
I feel like you dropped the girl.
That's true. There's a difference between a guy smelling bad and a girl smelling bad. This
It's
is
not
another one of
fair.
those times where it's not fair for women. But if a guy smells bad, a girl's like, oh, that's just kind of a guy thing. If a girl smells bad, it's like,
Well,
what are you doing?
Think about this though too. Think about, especially I feel with women, of how attractive they are, and then all the other stuff that can just suck about them, and still they'll have guys.
True.
And so, for example, personality. You got to have a horrible personality as a woman and be super attractive, and you're still gonna get along in life fine. I think personality is more important than smell.
Oh,
And
yeah,
if you can get away with a bad
for
personality,
sure.
you can get away with a bad smell.
I don't know.
You guys are welcome to text in. I got a ton of listener texts, so we'll come back and we'll go through some of those at
Some more of this.
877-2-RADIO-U. What would you rather if you were given this choice of what your life would be?
Would you rather be ugly and smell good, or stinky and attractive? 8772 Radio U. Matt Carty.
Stinky and very attractive.
You're good looking.
Your For You page would be a lot more fun if it had Hudson, Nikki, and Isaiah. Follow at RadioU Official on TikTok. The Riot. Radio U.
Text in. We're keeping Would You Rather Wednesday going. Our question today came from Alden, who said, would you rather be ugly and smell great or smell horrible but super attractive?
Well, Kimberly texted in, says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Smelling good is good hygiene. So I think going with the smelling good as a choice. Mm-hmm. Abraham says, how stinky? Like just BO, rotten meat.
Well, like
We're not talking like people are throwing up around you.
Yeah, unnatural. It's just like, you know us. Again, it's the ugly is a person you look at and you're like, oh, that's an ugly person. Mm-hmm. And stinky is a person you look at or you smell and you go, well, that person stinks.
Well,
like noticeably smelly, but like a person would smell.
And then how ugly as well, because he would rather be ugly. Even ugly people have soulmates and destined friends. So
I mean, it's true.
Shrew says you're underestimating people's stank, though. So BO can get so bad with people that it burns your nose to smell it. Working with the public previously, I had a regular that would come in that smelled bad all the time. So 100% would go ugly with good smell, and that's his vote.
But you got to think, too. We've all met people that smell bad. They live their whole life that way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that walk around that are ugly. There's people that walk around that are stinky. It's would you rather
maybe if you're just
smell
ugly,
good or be beautiful?
It's not like, oh, you're not model attractive. So like maybe it's just to us, it'd be just like you're just average and you blend in.
I think if you're ugly, though, you like that just automatically probably means you have to work harder for everything.
You do. That's what I was going to say. For me, I think I would definitely pick beautiful and stinky because I've never not been beautiful. So I wouldn't know how to navigate the ugly world. I'm too abrasive. I could never say something like this. My personality is too abrasive to be ugly. People would just hate me. But I'm attractive. It outweighs itself. I'm okay.
And in my experience, I tried smelling really good and being ugly when I was in high school, and it didn't work. Yeah, I tried. I smelled so good. People knew that about me. I smelled good. It didn't do anything for me. And so, yeah, smelling good will get you nowhere in life.
Let's see. Nick says ugly and smell good. Crystal says definitely attractive and smell bad. Smelling good gets you nowhere. I could be famous on TikTok if I'm not attractive, but no one can smell you on the internet.
Exactly.
So you can do that. And then Jason says with the way the world is today, being all about social presence, it'd be better to look good and smell bad and then say, like, start a podcast.
Yeah.
We smell terrible in here. It smells so bad in this room right now, but all you guys can do is just hear us. Some of you watch the video podcast. You can see how beautiful we are.
You'd not have to be around anyone. Yeah. So that's a good point. Thank you, Jason, for texting in your thoughts.
Yeah. I hear all the people saying that that smelling bad would be better. No, that smelling
it gets confusing.
It does get confusing. All the people that are saying they'd rather smell good and be ugly, they haven't moved me 1 inch on my mind.
So you're sticking with you'd rather smell bad or gosh, it is
smell bad, look good.
Smell bad, look good.
Smell bad and look good. I think everybody's kind of sticking with that one.
That's what I'm rolling with too. Until you've really experienced that pretty privilege, it's like no other. The pretty privilege is real and it is a true force.
So that's the show consensus?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah,
but after every Would You Rather Wednesday, I always leave it with, I don't want to do any.
I'd rather just smell kind of good. I don't know.
It's like you don't have to be the most attractive or smell the most amazing, but can we just be okay?
Now I'm like reapplying cologne because whenever we talk about smelling bad, then it makes me get in my head about smelling bad.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Hey, they're already eating anyways. Might as well do it on the show. The Riot with Nikki and Hudson. Radio U.
Got a wild video here from Chicago that I'm going to do my best to describe to you guys. But I do also recommend that you just watch it. So here's how the story goes. We've got a woman and her boyfriend. The boyfriend's driving. They pull into a gas station. Again, this is Chicago area. Apparently they pulled in because their car was having car troubles. But that was nothing compared to the car troubles it was about to have.
Oh, I've seen this video.
You'll see.
I'm at the point where she's walking around without a shoe, so hang on.
So her and her boyfriend, they get out of the car. They're arguing in the gas station parking lot. That's never a good start to a story. They're arguing. Somehow, eventually, I don't know the story. Like, there's everybody at the gas station just kind of gets involved in the argument as well. And it gets to the point where the woman gets so heated that she jumps back into the car in the driver's seat this time and she pulls off through, she like drives between the pumps, knocking into another van. Her boyfriend, the door's open, her boyfriend's hanging out the door trying to stop her. And so she's driving, dragging him along, and she's crashing into stuff through the parking lot. And people are jabber jawing at her or whatever, okay? So she pulls out from the gas station onto the street, and I wish this was the part where she actually flips her SUV. It's not really caught on camera, but somehow she gets out on the street, crashes into another vehicle, and flips her SUV over so that it's upside down.
Looks like it lands in front of a fire station because you just randomly see like firefighters walk out. So it's quite a big crash, and they say she was intentionally at that point. If you've ever seen like cop and car videos where like someone's so mad, they're just crashing into people. Yeah. They say it was probably that case. She just started hitting her car into people.
And this is the craziest thing to me. She's just flipped her SUV over. And it was hard for me to tell the first time, but like the person who's filming from the gas station is kind of like, people are yelling at her after she's crashed, but not like, oh my gosh, is she okay? They're yelling some kind of nonsense at her. And she gets out of the vehicle. She's just fine. And she comes back at them. She's going, ha, ha, ha. She just flipped her SUV over.
She's losing it.
And she's still like, she's not like, wow, what a big mistake. She is still jabber-jawing at these other people. It is a crazy video.
Did you see when she goes back to get her bag?
Yeah, she walks around. And then
the car's flipped over.
Yeah, and then her and her boyfriend both actually wound up facing some kind of charges for leaving the scene of the accident as well.
She faces felony charges, criminal damage to property, 2 counts of aggravated assault, reckless driving, reckless conduct, leaving the scene of a motor vehicle collision, and she didn't have a valid driver's license.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Oh, no. So the argument just went crazy at that point.
Imagine you know who I feel bad for? We all feel bad for the boyfriend. I mean, that dude, what do you mean?
No way, you feel bad
She literally ran over him with her car. Like, what?
I think they're both wrong, but you should feel bad for the poor SUV that got hit from her, like all the damage she did.
Well, I mean, that's obvious. I feel like the boyfriend, like, they didn't just start going out. Like, this is... Yeah, he should have seen this behavior coming, I think.
But you know, he's like trying to calm her down, and then she's just crashing the car that like maybe it's his car. We don't even know. Crashed into people. He's like, please just stop. And then she runs him over with her car, flips the car over. He's just standing there with his hands in his pockets like, what the heck is going on? And then his girlfriend's just crashing into everything. Terrible day for that guy.
It feels like they both, though, have... Well, he was also having verbal exchanges with customers.
Right.
So he was in there fighting
Everybody
with people.
was involved in the verbal altercations.
But that's a different level. If you go to the gas station, that verbal altercation, whatever, continue on with her day. She ran into 3 cars and ran over 2 people.
And
it's a different level.
He also fled the scene, though, too.
Yeah.
So
Heck, I would, too.
He got in trouble. I think it's because you're more embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. Get me out of here.
I wonder if maybe like that's her stealing his car. Maybe he can find a way.
I mean, for him, what did he do wrong? Nothing.
Actually,
she drove the car.
If you read the article, I'm sure there's plenty they could put on him.
In the police report.
They're like, he was yelling at someone else. What are you getting for that?
You can get something. So, she now has electronic monitoring, and she'll be back in court on May 12th. And there's not really an update on him.
So you think they're staying together? Or?
No, this is one of those horrible couples that go back and forth with each other.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the friends and family are like, will you please break up?
Yeah.
Will you please stop seeing each other? And they just keep getting back together.
Yeah.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Got a Mother of the Year award to hand out here, perhaps. This is in the UK, where a mum, as they would say, is
mom.
Yeah, she is helping out her son. Her son's a gamer.
Yeah,
he's got an impressive setup. So whether he's good or not, he at least takes it very seriously. He's still in school though, but while he's on school holiday, she went ahead and got him like a cooler so he could stay hydrated, like one of the office coolers.
Yeah, the one that has the big bottle on the top, and then you push the button and the water comes out.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, he's not too keen on plain old water.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't like the taste. So
Spoiled rotten.
She went ahead and filled it up. Prime hydration.
Oh, the drink?
Yeah.
She put Prime in there?
She not only did she put Prime in there, you got to look at this video. She bought like pallets of Prime.
That's expensive.
Because she had to fill up the water cooler part. And so she's pouring all these individual Primes
By hand?
into a big water cooler. Yeah, so that her son, and she says he's on school holidays, so he doesn't even have to leave his room right now.
Well, at first, I think we love a supportive parent, right?
Yeah.
So that seems nice, but then
Don't
also
we, folks?
it does scream enabling a little bit too. On the
Very
other
much
hand.
so.
So, like, I would have at least watered it down a bit.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like when you were little and your parents were like, "Well, yeah, you can have this juice," but it was like mostly water. To see if you notice. But I mean,
And
at
you
least
always did.
yeah, you always do know. At least she's doing something. I mean, I'm jealous. I would like all that.
Did you feel like she's a little too excited about him never having to leave his room?
That's what I was thinking,
Like
too.
maybe he just sucks and she doesn't want him around. So it's like,
Well, no, I think she's just very supportive to the point of enabling because all you have to do is look at his gaming setup. And it is a lot.
yeah, you think his gaming paid for that setup?
Probably not, but he probably was like, "Hey, I love to game," and mom's like, "Well, let's go get you all the stuff."
Yeah.
that sort of mom.
I don't get the whole doesn't drink water thing. He really needs it to be Prime, not even Gatorade.
I think that was her idea. It doesn't say that he requested Prime. She came up with this idea.
Interesting.
It says that he doesn't like the taste though. He doesn't. He's kind of picky. What
Of
was
water?
Her? Yeah. What's her exact word?
Oh, but little Jimmy, he doesn't really do the whole water thing. He prefers Prime.
Wouldn't you love if your mom got you some flats of any electrolyte
Yeah.
drink?
I mean, it'd be awesome.
It'd be great.
She says. So my son is fussy and doesn't like the taste of plain water.
Her son also, this isn't like a 9-year-old, if you guys are
Fussy.
wondering.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's 7. He's like 20 years old.
No, he's not.
It's
He's still
fussy.
in school.
But then he's, whatever age he is, he's 16.
He's at least in middle school, and
This kid's definitely
you
a high
don't call
schooler.
somebody. You call a baby fussy. You don't call a 16-year-old fussy. That means he's a baby. He's
just
acting like a
one.
baby.
Well, I mean, he seems to appreciate it, though. At least he has a nice attitude back at it.
Does he though?
This works for them. This is
It
just,
works.
This
for
is
them.
their thing.
Yeah.
This is their thing.
Who
and
are we to
that's fine.
judge?
That's all right.
Who among us wouldn't want our moms to fill up a cooler with Prime? for
That
us?
way we never, I wonder if she's going to get him like a pee bottle too. That way
she
he
should.
never has to leave his bedroom.
Do you want to let everybody know here at Radio U that we would sure appreciate a water
pee
cooler
bottle?
system? No,
No, for sure. If you want me to be
water-
more productive,
a water cooler system over in the corner.
it'd be great.
But we don't drink water either.
No, we don't drink water.
Yeah, that's right.
We want something good. I want some good stuff.
Yeah, let's fill it with Alani News or something.
Now we're
Be
talking.
nice. Or just some cold brew, just something over
Yeah,
there.
just something nice.
Hudson and Isaiah seem like they know a lot about sports, yet somehow it's Nikki that always gets it right. The Riot, Radio U.
You know, Nene, weekdays with Nene in the afternoons here on Radio U. He started a new segment I really like. You should listen. It's called Yay or Nay.
But why is he not doing yay or nay nay?
Oh, that sounds corny.
It
Come
I
on.
like it.
It does.
Nothing's too
It's
corny
not.
for Nene.
It's not corny. It's cute. Yay or nay nay.
Yay or
All
nay?
right, so we'll have to do two yay or nays then. One will be yay or nay on yay or nay nay. And then 2 will be the actual question he asked yesterday, which also he started circulating throughout the office beforehand.
Yeah.
The question is it okay, yay or nay, on leaving your phone when you leave it, turning it face down so the screen is on the desk?
Oh, so it's not showing?
Yeah, screen side down.
Sure.
That's yay or nay on that, and yay or nay on a significant other doing that. See, to me, on its face, I feel like it's suspicious. But then, we were talking around the office, Tyler from the weekends, Tyler said he just does that all the time. It's not because he's hiding anything. It's just he doesn't think about it too much. So
Sure.
he leaves it upside down.
I think some people do it as a respect thing. Like if you're in a meeting or another meeting, you turn it face down so it's not distracting to you.
Yeah.
And then it's also not
And then you can just be distracted by your Apple Watch instead.
Well, I mean, that's step 2, all right? Just put your hand away. But then that way it's not flashing constantly, or it depends on what your screen setup is.
So you're a yay on flipping it over.
No, I'm indifferent to it because I think nowadays if you're going to be just wanting to turn it over because you're cheating on someone, people can change what notifications show on your lock screen.
Yeah.
So, like, that's basic.
Yeah.
You're not
Like,
turning it over.
If that's what you're relying on to keep it hidden, you're so screwed.
You're not doing it right. So I don't think it's quite that way.
Yeah, because like even like right now, as I look across the room, Hudson's face phone up.
Yep.
Nikki's up, mine down. But that's just how I do it, though.
Suspicious.
It's not. What am I hiding?
See, that's what somebody.
But like, what am I
who's
hiding from
something
you
would
guys?
say.
What am I hiding from you guys? You know.
It might just be a personal preference.
Yeah.
And like for me too, another thing like for me is I always have it face down. Like even if I'm on like a date or something too, always have my face phone down or in my pocket. Because I think definitely if you have your phone screen up, then you're constantly looking at it. Like if I see a notification pop up, no matter what it is, I'm going to look at it. But if I have it face down, then I don't have to worry about it at all. Which I think it is too, like being like present in the conversation.
So, question then I mean this. Why even have your phone up at all?
Oh, now hang on. We don't need to ask that question.
That's craziness.
When I go out with people, I usually, unless I'm looking at my phone, I'll just have it in my pocket.
Sure.
Well, that's because this is why, Hudson. Because you aren't wearing skinny jeans like I am. It's a lot harder to pull them out of these things, man.
Hey, every jeans I wear are skinny jeans.
That's not the style, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it just depends on the person, too.
Can we
Really
agree
depends.
Can we agree on this? If you are with somebody though who like you've been with them for a little while and they normally would have their phone up, screen up, and then you notice they switch to face down.
That's suspicious.
Red flag, right?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Or like if you're like hanging out with your significant other and they'll never leave you alone with their phone.
Yeah.
If they go to the bathroom and for whatever reason like they get up and they start walking to the bathroom and then they like turn around and grab their phone just to go like pee.
Yeah.
That's the most suspicious thing. If they won't leave you alone with their phone, then that is super suspicious. I think phone up or down when you guys are in the room together, I don't think that's as suspicious as if they just won't leave it with you.
That's a good point. Although I have an excuse for that.
What is it?
Because I've said this to Nikki before, is that I don't have an Apple Watch or anything, so my phone tracks my steps. And so
No, cut it out.
If I leave the room, I take it with me
He
so I
takes
can
it
get
with him.
every
If
single
I'm
step.
ever hanging out with a girl and I see her pick up her phone to go to the bathroom after she'd already kind of walked away and she goes, I'm just trying to get my steps. I'm going to be like, you're cheating on me.
Well, at this point, though, we can all agree, though, that if you've been together with someone enough, you're not even putting your phone down. You're automatically just holding it. What,
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
talking about? You're on your
You're
phone.
not even looking at them anyways.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
You done any spring cleaning?
Yes, I've been going through things.
A lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing a garage sale next weekend.
Oh, a rummage sale?
Yeah. Is that also what they're called?
I think. Yeah, some people. I think that's a very regional thing.
Yeah, the area where I live at, someone had initiative and was like, let's do a community garage sale.
Dang,
So I jumped
Isaiah,
on
you
that.
wanna
What's going to be
go?
the best thing you're selling? You got anything good?
No, it's all great stuff, you mean. Just
Definitely show. It's worth a lot of money.
spectacular, wonderful,
You're really selling it.
very expensive stuff.
Trash. I'm not coming.
Oh, dang. Does that mean you have
You
to,
weren't invited.
does that mean you have to haggle?
I don't want to. I was
Nikki would be
tempted.
terrible at haggling,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Actually, I think I'm probably pretty good because I would go at it in a very meek way.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like you're not confrontational at all.
Yeah.
But then I could really get you by,
True.
figure that out.
I
A
don't
sympathetic
know.
way.
I was
I guess
tempted.
if you make
I
it
would
feel
feel
like
bad.
we're taking advantage
I
of
would
you.
feel bad
Yeah.
trying to haggle with Nikki. She'd be like, whatever, if that's what you think it was worth. If that's what you think it's worth.
I also cry a lot, so
That's what I was thinking. You're going to feel bad taking advantage of her.
I really don't want to price anything because I just feel super lazy about it.
Yeah.
So I was tempted just to put either tables have like certain prices or just make everything make an offer just to get rid of it all. And Eric was thought, well, then they'll take advantage of you. But if I was just going to throw it away.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing.
So I wasn't sure.
See, I hate going to yard sales because I hate haggling too. And so I hate, if they don't have prices on stuff, I'm out of there.
You don't?
I'm out of there. Because then I have to talk to somebody. You want to talk to people?
Yeah, but I don't want to price it. Who wants to come over?
She
and
doesn't
fix
want to
it?
label everything.
Yeah, what if you just make like tables or whatever?
Okay,
you know,
I
like
could
this
do
is
that.
the $5 table. This is the quarter table if people have quarters, you know.
No one's showing up to a yard sale with quarters.
Actually,
Yeah, but
they
they could-
do.
Actually, maybe for yard sales,
for
I
yard
guess
sailors.
the yard sailors probably are.
And I'm just in the world of like, I've been also selling things on Facebook Marketplace. And that's just the worst because you're like, let me add $10 or $20 because someone's always going to offer less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I got to figure out what to do.
So the yard sale is just going to be Facebook Marketplacers in person. The only difference is they'll actually show up.
Yeah, they'll actually be there. That is the difference. They will show up when you actually have it.
Can you imagine somebody from, they show up at the yard sale, they look at your table, is this available? And then they just walk away.
I'm out of here.
They never.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Never talk to you again.
So-
It's the worst. So yes, I am going through things.
Okay, that's good to know. Sometimes I was going to talk about my garage, but I mean, yours is much more interesting.
Mine's hopping.
When
It
you do
is.
spring cleaning, you find that there's so much stuff that is piled up. I can't park my car in my garage right now, personally, because I have so much stuff. That's where all the stuff that I'm not ready to throw away, but also I probably won't need for a while. It
It's
all
in
winds up in the
limbo?
garage. Yeah, it's all in limbo. And then eventually you got to spring clean that stuff so you can actually use your garage for what it's meant for again. And in life, that comes up too, where sometimes you just realize like a bunch of stuff is built up. You haven't dealt with it. And so you need to deal with it. And God's ready to come. Like spring cleaning on your own. Good luck. Good luck. Doing your yard sale on your own. Have fun with that.
It's not fun.
Yeah, but if you have Jesus to come help you out, man, that makes it so much easier. So listen, if you're ready to do some spring cleaning in life, start talking to God about it. Let him help you out. He'll do the heavy lifting. He'll make the runs to the dump runs.
Hudson, you're saying my whole life right now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And by dump, I mean our dumpster out here.
Yeah.
I just bring it to work.
It's free. Check out RadioU.com/free gift to find out more.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.